No, we don't need 5 times more child psychiatrists.
I'm gonna let you finish, but first, come into my office.
Hey, thanks for tagging me in this video. I hope you don't mind that I used a clip to use for this response. Please go back to the original poster who was making the case that we do not need more child psychiatrists. I don't personally believe that, but one thing I can agree with the original poster is that there are things we can do to restructure society such that it's not psychologically harmful to children. One of the suggestions in the poster's original video was about children and spending more time in school. I don't know if I necessarily subscribe to that, but can we do more things in society to support the emotional, behavioral health of children? Yes, totally agree with that, general concept or that general statement. One thing I will say though is that while the social, psychological, the environmental, health situation definitely influences not just children, but any person's mental health and behavior, it is not the sole cause, the sole reason for a mental health condition 100% of the time. And for me, that's really important to recognize that mental health conditions, behavioral conditions, they can have a degree of they can be endogenous, right? They can be genetic, they can be heritable. There can be an element to that is beyond that person's control. Sometimes that's again through their genes, what they inherited. Sometimes that's through a medical condition. I've talked here on this channel about different medical conditions that also can present with like mental health or behavioral components. Sometimes that's because people acquire a condition. Maybe they develop seizures, maybe they have a traumatic brain injury, or they have a stroke. And after that, they have a personality change, or they have a behavior or emotional change. And it can be hard sometimes after a type of insult or an injury like that to have the ability to regulate your emotions or behaviors at times. And that can include children. Sometimes children, if they've been exposed in utero to certain substances, that can impact their mental and behavioral health for a lifetime. So I think it's a bit too simplistic to have the belief that just a person's social, physical environment is going to be the sole reason that they have a mental health condition. It's just often more complicated than that. Again, from my perspective, it's each individual's choice, or in the case of a minor, it's their parent or guardian's choice about whether or not that they want to take medication. But it is important to understand that there are certain types of dysregulation, whether that's with mood or attention, focus, that can be hard to regulate volitionally, just of your own will. That is the truth for a lot of people. I'm going to make a part 2 actually to address another issue that was brought up in the video about psychiatrists and capitalism and selling medication. I'm going to bring that back in a part 2.